Hello, my name is Jerry Stichter. I'm with Gary Kersey, a 2010 inductee into the Ohio Auctioneers Hall of Fame. The association, the OAA, through its member organization, has had the Hall of Fame for a good many years, and inadvertently we didn't get to have this interview last year, and so we're doing it at the January 2011 convention here in Columbus, Ohio. Gary, how many years in the auction business? What can you tell us about being inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Well, my first year in the auction business was 1976. And so we've been a member of the Ohio Auctioneers Association since '76, and went through a lot of the elected offices and was, you know, a director for at large and in the Southwest, and eventually worked my way up into the ranks of office holders in the association, and so was gratified by this recent award, and it was very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
You probably have one of these of prominence.
Yes, I do.
It's your place.
I do indeed.
Imagine.
Yes, I do.
And this doesn't happen just alone. You know, you've been doing this in 1976. There's been some help along the way.
Oh, there certainly have been, and particularly from, you know, the members within the association, just rubbing shoulders with these people and listening to what they have done and listening to what they haven't done, what's worked and what's not worked, and being able to share with these people down through the years of you know, what your problems are, what your accomplishments are, and it just seems like the Auctioneers Association, and everybody's pretty much on common ground, and we all know when we get here that you're a pretty safe haven to really be able to share, you know, whatever your concerns are.
There was for me, and I think there's for many, a fear of going to that very first meeting.
Yes.
That they know more than I do, they run bigger businesses than I do, or I just don't want them to know about my business and we don't attend. That's a myth.
That is correct. Yeah. And I think most everybody, the first attendees, they usually tell you when they've successfully completed, gee, it wasn't anything like what I thought. And so I would say that's right. And I think we all have the same apprehension, and that quickly dissipates, and you can't wait to come back and hit it again.
And your family. This is a family-oriented, we call it a convention, but it is seminars, it is fun auctions, it is a family-oriented event. Your family in the business, family and friends, I assume,
absolutely.
Make this work?
Absolutely. We have 2 daughters and a son, and my daughters all worked in what they call the wiener wagon, the hot dog, and serving concessions, and they're out there helping us set up the tables and moving dishes around and everything else. And you're right, it's a family business, and I think that's a good thing.
Is there a personal consultant named Sharon in your business?
Yes, there is, and she's been a big part of our business and a big help. And
that's his wife.
That's right. That's right. for the record. For the record.
Advice to people trying to get into the business, or if you're there and struggling, where do you turn?
Well, I think the first thing that you have to believe in the auction business is yourself. And I have found that a common trait among auctioneers is that auctioneers a lot of times have confidence in themselves, or feel like that they have the ability and that they want to accomplish something. And when you're among those kinds of people, that just does nothing but give you more confidence to, I can do this. And when you come to the association meeting and you've got something on your mind, you can talk to them and gain confidence and go out and say, well, I'm going to get this done. So, and that would be the biggest thing that I could see. And there's no question that our business and profession is changing. And technology is working its shall we say, grit on us. And some of us are being able to adapt to this, and there are going to be others of us that are going to have to back away and try to figure out where we fit in all this picture. But there's always going to be auctioneers, and there's always going to be a need for auctioneers. We just have to figure out where our place is and how we're going to accomplish that.
The OAA has been great at helping. You mentioned he has been through the chairs. This
Absolutely,
gentleman
that's
has
right.
helped a great deal of people. Get this. What was your vocation before you took on the auctioneer?
Yes, I taught school for 9 years. I taught American history at the junior high level. My master's degree was in education. And I had a very dear friend in Wilmington who was a wonderful school teacher, and he and I were the best of friends, Butch Peel. And Butch left school teaching and went into the real estate business. And so after school, I would occasionally go down to the real estate office and how you doing, Butch, and so on and so forth. And so Butch did very well. And so one day when I was down in the real estate office, Emmett Bailey, Mr. Emmett Bailey of the Bailey Murphy Company, called me in his office and shut the door behind him. And I thought, uh-oh, he doesn't want me hanging around here anymore. And so Emmett was a tobacco chewer, and he put a chew of tobacco in, went behind his desk and sat down and looked at me and he said, "Did you ever think about being an auctioneer? And you could have knocked me over with a feather." And I didn't know hardly what to say. And so he talked a little bit about the auctioneering and one thing or another, and he said, I think you've got the personality for that. So I went home and considered it, and the next thing I know, I was in auction school at Reppert's Auction School in Indiana, and I was on my way.
Education, it's been repeated time and time with the Hall of Famers, the people that are here. We hold state meetings. It's here to stay.
Yes.
We have not required it in Ohio, but people are taking advantage of it in Ohio.
Yes, and I know just last year and this year there are constant seminars and how-to programs, and auctioneers, I think in the past have been revered because we knew a little bit about everything. And now then that we are living in such a specialized age, we're finding that the pressure on us as auctioneers to be as good as we can, and some of us are being forced to become specialized. There's some auctioneers now that pretty much sell pottery or sell.
I sell real estate, and that's it.
Yeah,
I don't do anything else, and that's a change. Profession's not going to end.
Correct. It's just going to change.
It's going to change.
And change is a part of life, and that's the way it's going to be. And those that can adapt to change and make the most of where we are, that's where it's going to be.
Now, this is a history teacher.
That's right.
And a passion for
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln, the Civil War era, the history of that time.
Well,
you speak on it. You can tell them about this.
Well, when I taught school, I did a lesson on the assassination of Lincoln, and the students liked it, and I liked it, and so the next year I expanded on it, and then I wrote quite a comprehensive unit that was used in other school systems across the United States. And then I guess I'm a playwright, and I've written several plays and authored several articles and things like that on Lincoln and the Civil War. So, and my office is full of Civil War and Abraham Lincoln memorabilia. I've got my own museum, but it's been good. People come in the office and they can see we're pretty serious about what we do, and that we have an appreciation of the past. And a lot of times that people come and see us, we're dealing with their lifetime in just a day or so. So it's important, I think, and it certainly hasn't hurt our business, and something I've always enjoyed doing.
Can we continue to transform this past to the next generation?
Well, yes, I think we can, and you know, first off, we have to realize that information and data is exploded so much that we are going to have to decide what it is in our lives, in our businesses, that is important, and then be able to transfer that to others. I mean, now then, we've got people, as you well know, coming to our auction sales. They're connected to the internet. They're looking up values right before our very eyes. And so the pressure on us to get it right, I think, is greater than it's ever been before. And I think the auctioneers of the future are going to be the ones that are, shall we say, informed and surround themselves with people who, if they don't know the answer, can get the answer in a hurry. Because the public's going to demand it, and we're going to have to furnish that.
They're a knowledgeable public today. They know what we're doing, and I think we have to be store-like and professional, you know, in that presentation.
Absolutely.
Any unusual items you've sold over the years?
Oh, sure. Just like every other auctioneer, in our hometown, there was a Colonel Azariah Doan, who was ahead of the 79th Ohio Voluntary Infantry. And a lot of his soldiers at the end of the Civil War went out west and participated in the Plains Indians War. And so when some of his former soldiers came back from the plains, they brought some Indian artifacts and gave it to their own colonel. And so we had the wonderful experience of selling those items. There was a drum, and there was some material, some hides and things that they brought back. And as we began to do our research on these items, then we began to realize that we had something very special. And so, and then we had General Denver's sale. Denver was from Wilmington and was appointed a brigadier general by Abraham Lincoln. And we had so many books in his library that we sold, and they were all autographed. Jefferson Davis had his memoirs and was personally endorsed to General Denver. General Grant, his memoirs. Alfred Pike, the wonderful poet and Confederate. And so, yes, we've been very, very blessed with unusual things, and it just happened to be historical in nature. I can't imagine why, but you know, but it's been a lot of fun.
The people in the auction profession, we do gravitate to the historical things, the real estate things, the people that sell cattle, the people that sell cars. But don't you think the underlying theme is they love it and they have empathy for their client to do it right? Absolutely.
And you know, when you set everything ready and shall we say set the stage, you just get involved in it, and you want to do, you know, the very best that you can. And that's what we have to do week after week and auction after auction. And it's a grave responsibility, but it pays. Most of the time the rewards are great.
A school teacher background, I bet you have to do your homework.
You have to do your homework. That's exactly right.
Anything you'd like to add?
No, I don't think so. I just it's a pleasure to be an auctioneer and have an opportunity to share what expertise I have, and that's the name of the game, is being willing to share and to make any difference. If you're just getting started or if you've been in the business, you can always learn, and that's the attitude I think you have to have.
Well, Gary Kersey, on behalf of the Ohio Auctioneers Association, the 2010 Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time, and we'll look forward to seeing you and picking your ideas off the top.
I'll do my best.
All right, thank you.
You bet.